Global stability hangs by a thread as unprecedented reports of coordinated strikes on vital Western-linked energy hubs send shockwaves through the Middle East. Just hours ago, the geopolitical landscape shifted violently following claims from Tehran regarding a massive aerial campaign. Iranian officials, alongside several regional intelligence networks, are now asserting that a synchronized wave of attacks has neutralized critical oil and gas infrastructure across Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and Bahrain. This operation is being presented by Iran as a retaliatory strike, specifically citing a recent Israeli provocation against a domestic gas field located within Iranian borders. These developments have seized the world's focus instantly, not merely due to their tactical precision, but because of the immense economic value of the targeted zones. We are talking about the lifeblood of international commerce, facilities that dictate the rhythm of global energy supplies and maintain the delicate financial balance of the entire Orient. Detailed briefings indicate the primary targets were the expensive Kuwait crude complex in Saudi Arabia, the massive Mina Al-Amadi processing center in Kuwait, and the strategic Babco refinery in Bahrain. Each site represents a foundational pillar of its nation's industrial power. Before we examine the tactical breakdown of these explosions, the sheer scale of the infernos reported, and the terrifying ripple effects for the modern world, please support the channel by hitting the like button and subscribing for essential updates on these unfolding crises. Reports from observers on the ground suggest the offensive was executed with terrifying synchronization, hitting multiple sovereign territories within a remarkably tight window. Early detection arrays reportedly identified incoming projectiles, triggering emergency sirens across the Gulf's industrial heartlands. Within moments, the silence of the night was shattered by consecutive detonations, marking what many analysts now call the most dangerous escalation in recent history. The Kuwait oil field, a behemoth of Saudi production, was among the first to feel the impact. Large-scale explosions reportedly ripped through the facility, followed by towering pillars of fire that illuminated the desert for miles. Initial data suggests severe operational halt, with vital infrastructure segments currently engulfed in flames and suffering structural collapse. Witnesses spoke of a rhythmic series of blasts that vibrated through the earth, felt by communities far beyond the perimeter. When the sky turns black with oil, the world begins to tremble. Rapidly spreading fires, fueled by high-pressure crude, have reportedly jumped containment lines, complicating an already desperate situation. Plumes of thick, toxic smoke are currently drifting across the region, serving as a visual testament to the magnitude of the hit. Sources indicate the damage is widespread, suggesting either a saturation of precision munitions or a failure of automated suppression systems. In facilities of this complexity, a single spark can lead to a chain reaction, and early signs indicate that is exactly what is transpiring. Firefighting units were scrambled instantly. Yet the ferocity of the heat and the constant threat of secondary tank failures have made the site nearly inaccessible. In high-risk zones where volatile chemicals are stored, traditional response tactics are often rendered useless during the initial chaos. Almost simultaneously, the crisis deepened in Kuwait as the Mina Al-Amadi refinery reportedly came under fire. This location is paramount to the global market, refining vast quantities of oil destined for international ports. Multiple strikes within the complex have sparked massive conflagrations across various processing units. The level of ruin described at Mina Al-Amadi is staggering. Observers captured footage of gargantuan fireballs erupting into the atmosphere, followed by a dark haze that has blotted out the sun for hours. Because these systems are so tightly integrated, damage to a single manifold can paralyze the entire flow, and reports suggest the fire is currently traveling through the pipeline network. As the inferno marched through the facility, emergency crews struggled to find a foothold. Experts suggest that additional cook-off explosions have occurred as storage vats reached critical temperatures. Meanwhile, Bahrain's Babco refinery was not spared from the chaos. Sources confirmed that explosions rocked the facility, followed by visible structural damage and runaway fires. As the center of Bahrain's energy economy, the disruption here threatens to paralyze the island nation's financial stability. Just like the sister sites, the abundance of combustible materials turned the refinery into a furnace, forcing responders to prioritize containment over extinction. Looking at all three nations, a chillingly consistent methodology emerges. Instantaneous impacts, followed by catastrophic structural failure and uncontrollable thermal spread. This level of coordination implies that the aggressors spent months identifying the exact pressure points of the regional energy grid. Tehran has been vocal, framing this as a necessary eye for an eye response to the alleged Israeli sabotage of their gas infrastructure. They are using these charred ruins as a canvas to demonstrate both their reach and their lack of hesitation. The fallout from these events has triggered immediate panic regarding international trade. Gulf infrastructure is the engine of the modern world, and any hiccup here is felt in every gas station and boardroom on the planet. Analysts warn that the severity of the hardware loss means these facilities won't just reset in a few days. We are looking at months, perhaps years, of reconstruction for specialized components. A single night of fire can cause a decade of economic winter. Beyond the physical machinery, the psychological toll is immense. The realization that multiple high-security zones can be breached simultaneously creates a profound sense of insecurity for the global workforce and regional residents alike. We are witnessing a sudden, violent pivot in the conflict. While first responders continue to battle the flames, the geopolitical weight of these strikes is only just beginning to sink in. Attacking the economic heart of three nations at once is a gamble that fundamentally changes the rules of engagement. As more satellite imagery becomes available, the true level of the carnage will be laid bare. For now, we are left with a landscape of burning steel and a terrifying question of what follows. In this theater of war, violence is a feedback loop. Every strike demands a retort, and every retort broadens the circle of destruction. As the world watches the smoke rise, the true test begins. Will this be a contained flare-up, or the spark that ignites a total regional conflagration? The fires are still burning, and the story of this night is far from over. Reports indicate that the heat is so intense that support beams are liquefying, ensuring that even if the fires die down, the path to recovery will be grueling. The atmosphere remains thick with tension and the smell of sulfur, a grim reminder that in the game of energy warfare, everyone pays the price.